Hey, welcome back. The stat of the day, we're going to start it off right here. The stat of the day, haven't done one of these in a while, but we're going to get you right. The Toronto Raptors are 1-9 against the top four teams in the Western Conference and in the Eastern Conference. Showtime. Welcome back. Welcome back to the corner three. How are y'all doing? How the fellas doing, man?
I'm good. I'm just ready. You know what I'm saying? It's been a couple weeks, it feels like. And lots happened in the association. And apparently there's like some kind of rant that we're supposed to be hearing on on this episode from somebody. I don't know who. It's just rumors, stuff I heard through the grapevine. So I'm just excited to be back, locked in with the fellas, but I'm ready to hear what the contents of this rant that's supposedly coming.
All right, we're going to get straight into that, man. So, we have a new segment. It is called Off Your Chest. So, when either of us, it could be multiple people, but if any of us have a situation that we want to get something off our chest, this is the segment for that. And for those that may be wondering who Rush was insinuating about, Jarrett is going to be the first person that is a part of this new segment, Off Your Chest. Jarrett, what you got to get off your chest tonight?
All right. Now I'm gonna start off by saying, matter of fact, let me pull up the stats to back up my argument from last night. So I went on a little rant on Threads about my Knicks. Everybody was saying how, oh my God, we need to trade Carl Anthony Towns. We need to trade Mikal Bridges. They don't fit into this team. Let's slow down, okay? We in a whole new. Oh, let me pull up the stats. Let me pull up the stats. Let me pull up the stats. Mikal Bridges had 30 points last night. 4 3 pointers on 12 of 15 shooting. Carl Anthony Towns, he didn't score a lot. Shot 3 for 11, but he had 22 rebounds. Sometimes players don't need to score the ball to make a big impact on the game. Someone said to me on Twitter, oh, he has 4 points. That doesn't mean anything. They're up by 15, and he had like 18 rebounds at that point. Why are you complaining? Like you're still making an excuse to validate your argument. So my whole rant thing is why every time we get a star player, they want to trade him right away. This happened with Julius Randle. Julius Randle did one bad thing, had one bad game. The crowd started booing him, so he did the thumbs down to them after he scored. And now all of a sudden, Knicks, oh my God, Randle, he can't take the pressure of New York. Let's trade him. Let's get him out of here. Now Carl Anthony Towns comes. He has a few bad games on defense. We knew what Cat brings to the table. We know he's not a good defender. Is he going to change now? Probably not. But he's here. He's playing good for us. What are you complaining about? He's a great player. Mikal Bridges, he's a great player. People thought he was going to be a second option on this team. Mikal Bridges was never a second option anywhere. Brooklyn was the first option. All right, cool. Did they do anything? No. Point being, he is not a go-to player on a winning situation team for offense. He is more of a 3 and D guy, third, fourth option, and he'll occasionally give you 30. That's not going to be a thing he's going to give you every night because that's not what he brings to the table. So why are we trading him? Why would we do that? The team is fine the way it is. It's a new coach, a new system. Give it some time. Give the players some time to adjust to what the system is built around. Ball movement, player movement, defense. The defense has been slacking a little bit, but the last few games, the defense has picked up. You got to give these players time to adjust to the game, adjust to the system. Now,
Can
I want to hold one last thing. I'll say this. I think the Knicks do need to make another move, but they don't need to trade anybody. I think they just need to add someone, possibly just one big for situations when Mitchell Robinson is out like he was last night. Like he's injury prone, so that's fair. We It comes with the game. It comes with the territory of Mitchell Robinson. We get one more big, we're good. You don't need to trade anybody. Be patient. Stop complaining. You guys don't know basketball. If you think we need to trade every single player every time they have one bad game, okay, I'm done.
Hey, can I hop in and play devil's advocate as to why Knicks fans might be upset?
Yes.
Can I jump in? Yeah, I'm just outside looking in, right? I got no dog in the fight, of course. I got my own problems out in California. But I think Knicks fans might have 53, 57, and 61 million reasons why they're upset with Cat's play, because those are his contract numbers for the next 3 years. And he's averaging near career lows in points, and his shooting percentages has slipped a little bit. So while I understand, yes, offense is not the only thing that matters. I think when you're paying a guy a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time, I just think the expectations are just automatically lofty. And then no less playing in a market like New York. So people's expectations are going to be a little lofty, bordering on unreasonable. But I think at the end of the day, once they start winning again, because they will. I mean, they've been in a little something. The schedule's been brutal. Not necessarily the competition, but just the amount of games that they've had, I think, within like the last 45, 60 days. I mean, coming out of the Cup, I mean, they just had a really condensed schedule, it seems like, which will balance out. So they'll start winning again. And I think me and Tone talked about this yesterday or the other day. I think it'll be between them and Boston for who's number 2 in the East. And I think once they start winning again, a lot of this will be forgotten. But then we'll come playoff time, and then he'll need to produce. So I hear what you're saying. I'm with you. I think it's just Knicks fans, I think, and Lakers fans are a lot alike. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 bad games, and then we got to clean house. Everybody's got to go. But I mean, that contract is significant. So he needs to. I think he will start playing better, but he definitely needs to warrant it. Otherwise, he's going to keep hearing himself and Giannis trade rumors, which I think we're talking about later, right? I guess because you can't have a basketball podcast and not talk about Giannis and his latest trade demands. So we'll get to that at some point.
Perfect transition. Rush, you take it off. Do we think this is the real deal now? That Giannis is actually going to get traded? Because as soon as we saw the Shams report, he dropped 3 threads, he dropped 3 tweets, and immediately, probably 10, 15 minutes later, we see Chris Haynes reports. Giannis has said that he actually hasn't asked for a trade. It's this continual back and forth. Do we think actually now that Giannis is actually going to get traded? And then we could talk about possibly where, but do we think he actually will be traded this deadline?
I actually don't think he'll be traded this season. I don't think he'll be traded by the deadline. I think it's too big of a contract. The Bucks are probably going to want too much of a haul for probably any of Giannis's desirable destinations to really make something work in season, especially when you talk about draft capital. A lot of teams, depending on whatever they're eligible to trade now in terms of draft picks, they'll have more in the summer. And when you talk about free agency and cap holds, there's just a lot more flexibility in the summer than you have in the middle of the season, when a lot of teams, are a little wary of that second apron, or maybe hard capped at either the first or second apron. So it's just really tough. It's a big contract to move, and it's just like it would just, wherever he goes is going to create a seismic shift, I think, in the league. It's not very often that top 5 guys become available, and you're talking about back-to-back seasons where you could have a top 5 guy being moved. We had Luka last year, and then we could have Giannis this year, probably in the summer, no less. So I think it'll be a summer deal. Where he'll go, I have no idea, because the only team that we've heard that Giannis wants to go to or would prefer to go to is New York, and that was the reports that we heard earlier in the season, because apparently he approached management and said, "Hey," I don't know how the conversation went. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially he was curious about going to New York. Once we get into the summer, I don't know if his list of preferred destinations will grow. We'll see. But I think trading a player of Giannis's caliber with a contract of his size will be much easier to do in the summer. And it's the Bucks. It's in the Bucks' interest to tank. They need a high draft pick, and winning games, especially with Giannis. Now that Giannis is going to be out, they're not going to be able to make a run. It just makes sense for them to wait until the offseason.
Jarrett, are you of a different belief? Because when Rush said that, you kind of seemed a little taken aback.
He put his finger up while I was speaking. That was kind of rude. It threw me off track a little bit.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I was going to say he probably going to go to Brooklyn. But no. But if worst case scenario, but if he decides to go to New York in the offseason, is he a free agent this offseason? No, right?
No, sir.
Say what?
He's not
a free agent this offseason.
Yeah.
No, not this offseason, but he has a player option for the 27-28 season. So next season would effectively be, his basically next season is his last season, like under contract. He's got a player option for the following year.
So I don't want the Knicks to be in a situation where they feel like they need to make a move and trade for Giannis with the being like how the whole situation with Melo, how they traded almost half their roster to get Melo, then they lacked depth for probably a season or two before they was able to, get some players to surround him with. I don't want it to be a situation where, like you kind of have to deplete the roster to get Giannis. Because at the end of the day, it's like his contract is going to be a lot to, handle. So it'd be hard for you to sign other stars. You'll probably have to entail Cat, of course, and probably Mikal Bridges, whatever. But then, that's still, you still got to figure out who's going to be like kind of like those filling spots, And I just don't want the Knicks to have come so far just to take, potentially a step back with like chemistry, because you still got to build, players got to learn each other. Players got to learn like each other's tendencies. Brunson needs the ball. Giannis needs the ball. It's going to be hard to actually, kind of mesh that together. It could work in a way, but I'm just not a believer in making big moves like that without actually seeing how the roster can, improve before subtraction.
Don't you mute it?
Tony, you muted.
I think he's going to have to actually
So what happens?
push that red button. I gotta get the.
You just put the mic on the stand. You ain't gotta worry about hitting the mute switch.
I got another stand. That's what happens when you have a 3-year-old who actually ended up breaking your stand. So
yeah, you ain't gotta tell me. I know all about kids breaking stuff. Daddy, I found your thing. Now it's broken. Last I saw, it was in working condition. So what happened to it?
Or the best part, what really happened with him was, Dad, look, I'm recording too, and ended up breaking it. But I think he's gonna have to press the red button if it's gonna happen this year. I think he's gonna have to press the red button if it's gonna happen this year. Where he ends up going, I think now if it is after in the offseason, it expands all of the possible places where he can go. Teams will be moving stuff around. For the Bucks' sake, the fans of the Bucks, management, for them to get sleep, I would really like for it to happen now, though. For this to not drag on for another 3-4 months, and then we got the off season. And that's going to be the only question. He's going to be in Greece on vacation with the kids, and that's going to still be the question. I want them to just get it over and done with. Try to get whatever that they feel is the best option for them to get something back for Giannis. Because the back and forth, yeah, we got to stop that. It's getting a little bit.
They're down 10 to the Wizards right now. This is embarrassing. If I was Giannis, I would want to leave too.
But this is the thing. It's like, yo, he obviously doesn't want to be in the position of being unliked by the Milwaukee fan base. But the back and forth still, you're becoming annoying. At least for me, it's becoming annoying. It's becoming childish. I want to stay. I don't want to leave. I want to stay. What are we doing? Just own it. If you want out, you want out, and people respect it. Like you just said, they losing to the Wizards, who currently are, I think, a 9-game losing streak. They're like 1-9 in their last 10 games. Last team in the Eastern Conference. Giannis, we wouldn't we wouldn't be mad at you. We wouldn't be.
Yeah, I feel like people are more inclined to be upset at him because this has become so drawn out, and he hasn't been willing to just say, I want to go somewhere else, instead of doing this whole like passive aggressive ordeal that we've all been subjected to. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when it'll happen, but like you, I'm just ready for it to happen because it's holding up the trade deadline. Like we can't get our dopamine fix of all these trade rumors because Giannis is holding everything up. So if he's not going to be traded to the offseason, I want somebody to say that. If he is going to be traded before the deadline, I just need it to happen so that my Lakers can get a 3-and-D game. That's all I care about. Because we're not getting Giannis, so just let me get a 3-and-D wing. That's all I want.
Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Chris. Yeah, Chris, you're 100% right. Giannis does not want to look like the bad guy, but you're at this point.
Chris, the undercover Lakers fan is here. out there in Southern California, trying to act like he ain't no Lakers fan. Okay, bro. All right. I'm just playing. See.
Hey, so looking at what we see so far, right, for the trade deadline, a name that's out there that definitely we didn't know if he would be traded or not, but Anthony Davis, I don't know if y'all saw the reports. Rich Paul said that he's demanding for Anthony Davis to be traded before the trade deadline. Do you think teams will be lining up for Anthony Davis with, currently the injury questions with him, if he's going to play for the rest of the year, if he's not? You saw the Shams report. Anthony Davis came out and said, don't listen to these liars. Do you think teams are going to be lining up for the currently injured Anthony Davis?
You want the short answer? You want the long answer?
Give me what you got.
Yes. And we know the injuries. Everybody knows the injury history of AD. And the thing is, people always had the hope that he's going to have one great healthy season, and we should try to get him. He's going to have an MVP-like season, yada, yada, yada. We heard it all. So teams are going to take a chance on him. They probably want to think it's going to be like a Kawhi Leonard situation. Like try to, like Chris just said, mortgage their future for injured guys, and ultimately they think they're gonna get a ring out of it. But AD may end up getting traded somewhere he don't want to go, and then when his contract is up, he's out of there. So, I mean, teams will take a chance on him for sure. I just don't know what would be the ideal fit for him as far as minutes and his skill set. Because when he's out there, he's a hell of a player. But can they have a situation where his workload is not as much as the past, so you can kind of get the most out of AD, but limited minutes to prevent injuries.
Hey, Rush, I want to ask you this. What teams do you think need to be buyers on this trademark, or even sellers? Like, who do you think needs to actually make a move by the trade deadline?
Who needs to make a move? I think my Lakers would probably be at the top of the list. They can't fill every hole that they have in one trade deadline, but I think you can definitely at least get something around the margins. because I can't do it much longer. It's it's frustrating, bro. We be getting cooked on the perimeter. It's just, I mean, the defense has been better as of late. The starting lineup with adding Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia, I mean, it's improved some things, and JJ started to go to the small ball a little bit more like they did late last season, and the defensive numbers have improved decently, but I don't know that it's something that can hold up. So we need to go get a guy on the wing. Forget three. I just need somebody who can play some defense on the wing. Like just somebody. Anybody. Just lock up on defense. I would say Houston. I think they need another creator, organizer, or just flat out point guard. Reed is playing well this year, but as I said in the beginning of the season, and then again when we checked in earlier on in the season, as well as he's playing, I still don't think he's the answer at point guard. They need somebody who can get that team to function at the highest level possible late in games. And as of right now, they don't have it. And the result of that is you're leaning probably a little too heavily on a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. And he's not going to say that he's not up to the task because he's an all-time great and that's what they do. But they need someone, a release valve, if you will, someone just who can take some of that pressure off him because, we've just seen him falter late too many times this season. And there's no reason for me to believe that won't be the case if they get into close games in the postseason too. So I would say Houston, LA. Detroit is interesting. I don't know that they need to make a move, but I don't know. It's something about, I just feel like they need another guy who can go get a bucket. Their bench is really strong. When you talk about Holland and you got Karras and then you got Ivy coming off the bench, if they have a guy who's close to that mold, I would say it's Ivy. I just don't know if he's ready yet. Just coming back off that leg injury. So that'll be interesting to see if Detroit does anything. I know they're not going to make a move for Giannis, but I don't know. Maybe they do like a consolidation to get another guy thrown to that starting lineup or to come off the bench. But other than that, I mean, most of the teams seem solid. It's just a matter of getting healthy. Denver's got to get healthy. Who's out in the East? Actually, I don't even know that any other of the contending teams need to get healthy. I think Denver needs to get healthy, and then some of these other teams just got to get guys back, and they just got to start playing well going into the final stretch, last 30 games of the season. But definitely Lakers and Houston at the top of the list. They need to make a move.
Hey, so I don't know if y'all saw Drew mention that, Joel Embiid got to get healthier. I want to ask you about Joel, right? I saw an article, I think it was on The Athletic, might not have been on The Athletic, but I saw an article somewhere that I was reading about this is actually the best time with how he's been playing as of late. This is the best time to try to move Joel Embiid. Do you think, with how the Sixers been playing, how Embiid seems to be healthier and been playing well this season so far, Jarrett, do you think that the Sixers may consider moving Embiid, or do they stay pat and keep this team?
I say keep the team. Embiid's interesting because he's definitely a walking bucket, but like I just said about Anthony Davis, like the load that you put on him could take a toll on his health. Like the amount of offense and defense he has to carry for his team in the past, I should say. But now, they probably have the deepest team that he's been on since he's been in the league. So I don't think he's needed, of course, on that team, but he's not needed as much. If you get what I'm saying, like he can kind of take a step back and let Maxey go off. Paul George is starting to find his rhythm back. And you know how VJ Edgecombe has been balling lately. And then also, you still got Quentin Grimes over there, and then Trent Walker had a triple double earlier this season. So they're pretty deep. So I feel like ride with this team, see how it goes, and from there, from the offseason, you kind of assess what you can add to the team, but you don't need to trade Embiid right now.
Hey, how they been looking though? I mean, I had them winning last year. I might have been a year early. I just might have been. I might have been a year early. Paul George is looking better, somewhat back to what he is. Jarrett McCain is back healthy. Tyrese Maxey is being Tyrese Maxey, and then Joel Embiid. How they able to get him games here and there? Philly is looking good. The East doesn't look as wide open anymore. You mentioned Rush. Those Lakers. Yes, there are some things that are needed on that Lakers squad. They did not show up against the Cavs. Some say it might have been different if Luka didn't do his 2-3 hop step after his shot and then whatever he did to his ankle, because Cleveland has to be the only place that has the elevated floor. Were we witnessing LeBron's last time in Cleveland? Is this LeBron's last year, you think?
I don't know, but I don't know that LeBron knows either. A lot of people would say, "Oh, there's no way LeBron's not going to go out without a farewell tour," and maybe that's true. I mean, I would say after the career he's had, he probably deserves a farewell tour. But I mean, if you think about Kobe's farewell tour, like it was great, like to see the crowds like give him standing O's like at the end of the game and see him clapping toward the fans and doing his wave. Team was trash. Like, let's just be real. And I know he dropped 60 his last game, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's how Braun wants to go out. And then, he's significantly older, like, than Kobe was during his last season. If he were to play another season, he'd be even more significantly older, which increases the likelihood of injury. Like, he missed the first, 10 plus games of the season because of sciatica this year. So, I don't know. He's got a lot he has to weigh. He doesn't need to accomplish anything else, right? Like, I think his resume is you could stack it up next to anybody else in NBA history. So at this point, you're just playing for the love of the game, I guess, and make some extra millions on top of the billions you already got. So I don't know. I think it's a day by day thing for him. If I had to guess, and I don't know that he's going to get a chance to win a championship in his last hurrah. So you look at it now, 23rd season, All-Star games in LA, even though technically it's at the JV team's arena. It could be the good way to go out. No matter what happens in the postseason, if the Lakers get there, which I'm sure they will. But I don't know. I don't know. He could play. I like the way I see him most nights. He could play another 2-3 seasons, but it just comes down to if he wants to, because there's nothing left for him to accomplish.
Hey, Jarrett, I want to ask you this, right? With that being the case, with my man Bron possibly retiring after this year, what do you think happens with Bronny in that situation? We saw the reports that, supposedly, allegedly, that Jeannie Buss was highly upset that Bron did not show the appreciation and the thank you and the gratitude for drafting Bronny. People have had different perspectives on if Bronny's an NBA player or not. Let's say Bron retires this year. Let's say Bron retires next year. Do you see Bronny actually staying in the league once Bron is actually gone?
From what I've heard, I feel like a lot of GMs do think can become an NBA player, like a legit good NBA player. So I think he can still stick around in the NBA. But he had 6 points, 8 points last game. So that I
8
think
points.
8 points. Yeah, so I think he has a chance to make something of himself even without LeBron in the league. What team that is? Probably a young team that he could get an opportunity to really play and show what he could really do. But yeah, I think somebody would take a chance on that.
And it will be interesting to see what happens with Bronny. I want to ask because I know you've watched closer than probably Jarrett has because he's on the East Coast and a Knicks fan, and he has no need to stay up till midnight to watch a Lakers game. From what you've seen this season alone, do you have confidence in Bronny lasting in the league once, Pops is gone?
When you say lasting in the league, do you mean like an NBA roster or like a guy who bounces between G League and the end of the bench?
NBA roster, do you think he actually ends up being not a two-way player?
Possibly. I don't think that I'll just be honest. I don't know that he would stick if his dad wasn't LeBron. Like he's athletic as hell. He's got good defensive instincts and abilities. But the offense hasn't really caught up, at least on the NBA level. I know he's had some really good games in the G League. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but I just haven't really seen a legit NBA player in him yet. Now he could have, he could develop the rest of this year, have a great summer, and then come back and, he could be a totally different player next season. But from what I'm saying right now, I think it could be a toss-up. It just depends on situation and, how much more he's able to develop this year and then over the course of this coming summer, I think.
Hey, man, I think that is an interesting thing to watch. It's kind of night and day. He, not saying that the G League obviously is NBA level talent all the time and NBA level competition, but we've seen Bronny look completely different once he's in the G League. We've seen 30-point games. We've seen double-doubles, dag near triple-doubles being in the G League. And it just seems like we've seen multiple times throughout the season, JJ Redick is yelling at him like, shoot the ball. You got to shoot the ball. You got to shoot the ball. So it could be a confidence thing with Bronny. And maybe he has more confidence when he doesn't have the shadow of Pops being there. Maybe feels more free then. Who knows? We'll have to watch and see.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did Bronny score 50 in the G League or 40?
I think he had a 40 piece.
I don't know if he had a 40. I know he's had at least one 30-point game.
Oh.
Yeah, it might have been. I feel like it was 140 or it was close to a 40 piece. Well, that's my point. He looked completely different. It seems way more confident in the G League.
Yeah, he had a 39-point game last March in the G League.
That's what I'm saying. We see some flashes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll never score 39 points in a G League game, so I'm not gonna look down my nose at Bronny. But I mean, there's a really big gap between G League and the NBA. So it's it's good that he's capable against some guys who are like borderline NBA talent, but I don't know that necessarily is a direct correlation to what he's capable of, in the NBA.
Facts, but All-Star. We got the starters. We have the starters now, but looking at the All-Star reserves.
Are we not doing the Hornets?
Oh no, they are on.
Okay, because I was gonna say this is the one time I actually came prepared, like with homework and research and studies. So I don't want you skipping those sections. Like we gotta stick. We got a rundown. I want to make sure you stick to it. Don't be going off script. Ready.
We got the Hornets. Actually, the Hornets is the next topic after this one. We're gonna do All-Star reserve picks. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. We're gonna start off with the Eastern Conference, but we're gonna do something a little different. We're going to have it set up where we each go one at a time, and you're gonna let me know what is your automatic lock. So who comes to mind first of what you should think of when it comes to the reserve spot. So Jarrett, you'll start it off in the East, and if we have the same ones, that's cool. But
Real
we'll
quick, shout out to my guy Drew, who just jumped in the chat.
shout out to Drew. Shout out to Drew. All right, Jarrett, start off. Who's the first one that comes to your mind that's an automatic lock for the Eastern Conference for the reserves?
Jarrett didn't come ready, Tone. We got.
I can't tell you. I just don't want to. I just don't want to sound crazy because of my rant. Donovan Mitchell. I was gonna say Carlo DeTowns at first, but I'm gonna go with Donovan Mitchell.
Didn't we shout out Uncle Drew at the beginning when he and Chris joined, or did we not? Tone, you muted.
I did personally, but he might, feel you didn't acknowledge him directly.
I didn't realize we all individually had to acknowledge
Shout out to Drew.
people. So Jarrett, make sure you shout out Uncle Drew.
Shout out to Uncle Drew.
Shout out to you. I want you to feel left out, bro. That you've been acknowledged by every person on the corner three.
Hey, Rush, did you have Donovan Mitchell on your list of one of the lock-ins?
Yeah, I did. I had Donovan.
Who's the next person that comes up to mind for you for automatic lock in the Eastern Conference?
Automatic lock. I'm gonna go with Jalen Duren. Pistons are number one in the East, so normally we see the best team in respective conferences get at least two guys, as long as they're, caliber, all-star caliber players, and I think Jalen Duren is. So I would have him.
Hey, Jerry, I'm confident you got Jalen on your list too.
I need that.
All right, bet. So we all got
Do you agree with those two picks, Tone?
Yeah, those are my literally. I'm looking at my notes right now. Mitchell, Jalen Duren was the first two names off of the list for me in that Eastern Conference. The next name that came up for me, which I think might be interesting, because I've seen there's some debate on this one. But for me, the next name that would have to come off the list as an automatic lock as one of the reserves is Scotty Barnes.
Why would there be debate on that?
So I've been seeing I've seen some Reddits, I've heard a couple pods where it's been conversation of saying that, hey, the main difference for the Raptors, they have pretty much the same roster, is Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's the main difference.
So there's beef. You get one of the two now. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think you could go with either one of them. It just depends on who you look at as the best player on that team. That's how I see it.
I think you would have to give it. Me personally, I'm giving it to Scotty because he does more than what BI does, and he impacts more throughout the game. That's how I would do it. But y'all let us know in the chat when y'all watch this later. Anybody that's watching now live with us, who gets that spot, Scotty Barnes or Brandon Ingram?
Hey, Uncle Drew, how do you feel? Who should what you pick, Scotty Barnes or Brandon Ingram? I want you to feel included.
Jarrett, back to you. Back to
man.
you.
Hey man, Drew gonna run. You gonna see him in the street and run up on me one day. Let me stop. My bad.
Hey, who's next for you? Yeah, we're still talking about the East. So for the East, it's 7 spots. Right now, we all agree on 3 spots: Mitchell, Duren, and Scotty Barnes.
Jalen Johnson. Yeah, Jalen Johnson. Uncle Drew, he played Vertican. He said Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I would probably go Brandon if I had to pick between the two. I had Jalen as well. Jalen Johnson. So many damn Jalen's in the league. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I had Jalen Johnson. Tone, hit that mute switch one more time. I'm gonna buy you a new mic.
That started with Jalen Rose, man. That started with Jalen Rose.
The original.
The original. Hey, by the way, I don't know if he in the live with us or not, but Griff on Thread said he need to hear some of our takes on how the Wizards are looking tonight. So shout out to Griff. We might get.
He's not in here. We ain't acknowledging his question.
Shout out to Griff. All right,
it's the scotch, man. I had some scotch before we came on. Okay.
What's the next name that pop up for you, Rush? Because we all had Jalen Johnson too.
Michael Porter Jr. I know the Nets are trash, right? I know there's some cheeks, but Michael Porter Jr. has been balling, man. He's been hooping, and I remember, I think we had a summer episode where someone was like, I don't know who it was, Tone, it might have been you, said like, is he going to lead the league in scoring? And I scoffed hard scoff. And he's not leading the league in scoring, but I mean, he is, what is he, like 25, 26 a game?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hooping. Ultimate green light, but hey, I think he's still been balling. So I'm gonna go with MPJ.
So MPJ was on my list. He was on the back end though, as one of the last names to come in. Did you have MPJ on your list, Jarrett?
I didn't, but I'm not mad at it.
Okay, so we'll get to that. So MPJ is not on your list. One of the other names that was on my list before MPJ was Karl Anthony Towns, Big Purr. I'm pretty sure, Jerry, you got. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got Cat. You got Cat in there, especially after your rant to start off the show. That would be wild if you didn't have Cat.
That's why I didn't want to give him the first nine, because it was a crazy saying Karl Anthony Towns right off the bat. But yeah, definitely have him.
All right, so no MPJ for you, right? So who do you have instead of MPJ on your list?
I'm gonna sound like a homer saying this. I would have my man Alex Starr for the Wizards.
Oh yeah, you gonna sound like a homer.
Gotta get my endorsement for him. Hey man, he's hooping. Man. He's averaging like 18 and 9, something like that. 2 blocks. Last time I checked, he was leading the league in blocks. I'm not sure if he still is, but he might be.
Hey, you feel me? That's still gotta be. He's still definitely at this point is top 2, top 3. Uncle Drew said Homer in all caps, and he's surprised you ain't had Josh Hart on there.
Nah. I mean, we can't have like 3, 4 Knicks on there. You know what I'm saying?
If y'all was where y'all was at the beginning of the season, y'all would have got 2 or 3 Knicks in there. But it was definitely
His situation with Chauncey Rip and Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace, it ain't like that.
Yeah, it's not like that, and hopefully we find out by the All-Star break what's going on with Chauncey Billups, if he's going to be a free man or not. But Rush, who else comes to mind for you for an All-Star
Rush,
pick?
Do you agree with the star pick though?
You know he don't.
I want to hear him say.
Hey, I'll never slander another corner 3 mate in public. So I'm gonna put it like that.
Listen,
I would not have gone that. I wouldn't have gone that direction. Is all I'm saying. But you know, hey, it's leading the league in blocks. That's not nothing.
Yeah, he's been balling.
Yeah,
for sure. So shout out to Alex R.
And shout out to just a quick aside. Shout out to the Wizards. Like, they've got a legit like young core to be excited about over the next 2 to 3 years. So I like what they're doing down. I mean, they've definitely had to ground up rebuild, but I think they're on the right path for sure. And as you know, I was born in Northern Virginia, so technically that's my hometown team. So I want to see them do well. I had Norm Powell. I feel like he should have made it last year had LeBron told everybody ahead of time that he wasn't going to play. So I feel like he's owed a spot, and he's been playing. I think he's doing career numbers in terms of points per game down there in Miami. And they don't really have a guy. There's no true star or superstar there. I guess maybe you could argue hero, but he's only played like 12, 13 games. So Norm Powell has been their engine on offense, and he's been hooping like we all know Norm Powell can. So he's my pick. Next pick.
Stormin Norman. That was my last pick on my team right there. So since you didn't have MPJ though, Jarrett, did you have Norman Powell?
Yeah.
All right, so
I
then you got
agree.
one more. You got one more pick. Then who's the last person on your Eastern All Stars?
One more pick. One more pick. I would go with. I feel like like. Oh well, no. I would go with either Ben Carroll or Franz, since they are playing better lately. They started off the season kind of slow, but I have Ben Carroll.
Hey, if a Magic does get in, I think the person that should get it is Desmond Bain.
Nah, I don't think. Mm-mm,
Because I feel
mm-mm.
Desmond's been there pretty much the entire season. He's been there. Boncaro, they're struggling, bro. When Suggs is out of the lineup, it doesn't look too good. So far, the signing of my man Tyus Jones, it don't look too good. It looks like they missing KCP for the defense at least, because he wasn't shooting well at all last year until they played the Lakers, which typically happens.
They
People see
just
the
got
Lakers.
they just been hurt, man. They lost Franz and Paolo, I think, again this season, right? Like Franz just got back
Yeah, that's what I'm
a couple
saying.
weeks.
I think it would have to be Bane because they haven't played enough. And Franz, he rushed himself back when they went to go play in Berlin because he back in his home country. Everybody loved him and his brother there. He wasn't ready, re-injured. Now he back out of the lineup. So it's the same thing again with them.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Like, I mean, they're in the 7th seed. I mean, Desmond Bain. I mean,
I said if I don't got him getting in there.
yeah.
They have a solid season. 19 points, 4 assists. It's like who else would we have in there? Like nobody
So
else.
I heard Bane, I heard Mobley possibly being in there, and a name that was definitely being floated around before he got injured was Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey was dagging there averaging a triple double.
I was about to say, maybe he can be the.
I could see Giddey. I think it's not like this is a postseason award, so it's not like an all NBA type deal. I could be all right. Give me Pascal Siakam or not.
Pascal Siakam was another name I saw. Now, we're not going to do that on this episode. Once the names come out, we will check it out then and figure it out. But another thing that could open the door for some of these players to get into the All-Star is
international players. Yeah.
Is international versus 2 USA teams. So Adam Sue already said if we need some extra spots, we'll call some people up. So some of these players still might get in there anyway. Looking at the Western Conference, this is going to be fun because it's a little bit harder over here, and I'm intrigued to see how we all went about with this one. I'll start it off with my first lock in the West. I think we all agree has to be none other than Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards.
100%.
All right, so then my man Rush, who you have as your next person?
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray. Agree.
Okay, I agree. He's on my list. I had somebody before him, but I agree. Jamal
Are we
Murray.
going? I mean, I'm not really going in order of like highest rank or anything. I just got my list. But
all good. Jarrett, who else is on your list?
I was gonna say someone else, but I mean, we got to LeBron in there. Nobody mentioned LeBron yet.
I actually don't got LeBron on my list.
Oh, huh?
I think LeBron will probably be in the game because it's LeBron, but I think there's some players more deserving of the All-Star nod this year. And that's only because Bron missed the first 15 games this season. So fully healthy, maybe he only missed 5 games, probably gets in there. But for me, I know he's going to be in there. I know he's going to be in the game. It's LeBron. But I feel there's some people that deserve it more.
I'm waiting on us to proceed.
All right, next name that I got on my list, Denny Avia. I think Denny's gonna get in. Yeah, I think Denny's gonna get in this year. Shout out to Jarrett, his interview that he had with Denny. Really great camera angle too, all up in my man's face. Looked at 4K. Really good job. Rush, who you got? Rush, who you got next on your list?
Jarrett had the phone like right here, and then he was like, "Hey, bro." Yeah, I had Denny too.
Who else for you, Jarrett, comes in your mind?
KD.
Yes, KD has to be on that list. I mean, the Rockets wouldn't be where they were at without KD and Sengun. But KD watched it last night, man. The last night or the last game they played, when they played the Spurs, it was just like it's been the same thing every game this season. If it's a close game, come the fourth quarter, it's hey, please come save us. Please come save us. They don't have a point guard. It looked absolutely nasty last night watching Amen Thompson literally force himself to try to get a ball to KD, turn his back. Here, come take it. Here, come take it. I agree 1,000% with what Rush is saying. They need another playmaker there. Amen Thompson is not it. Reed Shepard is more of a scorer. They need somebody to facilitate that offense, get everybody in the right positions. And you can't rely on KD and Sengun to do it every single night. It's no way possible. You see with the Nuggets, even as great as Jokic is, you got to have that other option in a Jamal Murray. They don't have that. That's not what they have set up for that team.
I'm glad you watched that game, brother, because I was out. I was trying to stay up and watch it, but I messed around drinking one of them THC seltzers, so I was done for.
Hey, you would have been proud too, because watching that game, Stephen Castle and Dylan Harper, those two are so freaking good. If you can't shoot, or if you're struggling to master your jump shot, that's the two you need to go watch to figure out how to still be impactful on offense. Because when those two get 2 feet in the paint, it's curtains. Forget it. More than likely, they get in a bucket. They getting something good out of it. The right pass, kick out, whatever the case it is. Those two are so good. Even Stephon Castles, who I love. You said you didn't finish watching the game. You would have been proud of your mans. That Joker throughout the fourth was guarding Sengun, KD, Amen Thompson. He guarded everybody and was giving fits to everybody. So shout out to the Spurs, what they got going on there with that 3-headed point guard tandem. 3-headed snake is absolutely crazy. For me, the next person on my list, I think they get in. I think they get 2. Sengun. I think Sengun gets in as one of the other names for the Western All-Stars. Rush, anybody that we didn't mention comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I got Kawhi making it.
Yes, sirski. That's who I got making it too. I got Kawhi making it. I think that would be I think he would get it over Bron. That's how I have it. I think Kawhi gets that spot over Bron. If it was up to me. But it's not up to me.
I mean, it's technically the Clippers hosting, so it makes sense that he would be there. And he's averaging career high points too, as well, which is kind of crazy for where he is in the stage of his career. But yeah, I think he's pretty much a lock to make it.
Jarrett, there's like 1-2 more spots left. It's been debates. Rudy Gobert. It's been Julius Randle, Amen Thompson in the mix. Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, definitely Devin Booker.
He ain't gonna be able to make it. He's out 4 to 6, isn't he? With his ankle.
I believe he might not be back for the All-Star game.
Okay, so
No need to
But I mean,
rush.
he might get. I don't know I don't know how they work when people are injured before they've announced
He
reserves.
might, yeah, he might get the
They'll announce
nod,
it so that he gets the accomplishment, and then they'll get his replacement.
injury replacement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Braun probably get. Drew actually mentioned another name too, Julius Randle. You think Julius Randle has a case for All-Star this year?
No.
no, yeah.
Not a case at all.
Minnesota's a little too low to get two
I'm
All-Stars.
sure somebody will make one for him, but not me.
What about Rudy Gobert?
I would say I'll give you one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Chet Holmgren.
I got Chet on my list.
Chet.
Thunder number one in the league. They got to get at least two guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Chet's been huge, especially with J-Dub being out at the beginning of the season. The thing is, and I think people really got to understand too, which I think y'all all understand on this page right here, and those that are watching that's played. You know how difficult it is to play with a player like SGA? And I'm not knocking SGA, but somebody that has that high of a usage to still have to be locked in and impact the game in other ways or be ready to actually impact offensively when somebody has that high of a usage. Same thing with playing with Jalen Brunson, OG, Mikal, Cat. You guys have to be ready at any given point to impact offensively, and that's on the coach as well to put them in positions to score and impact the game as well. But when you're playing with players like SGA, Kobe, Allen Iverson, with that high of a usage, James Harden at the peak of his career in Houston, bro, your job when you played with James Harden was stand your butt in that corner, and you be ready to shoot that corner three. No pun intended. Like, it's not the easiest thing to play with those level of players with that high of a usage. We're not going to ignore the pink elephant in the room. Drew has mentioned it. A couple other people has mentioned it in the chat. They want to know Rush's thoughts on Tone not saying that Bron makes the All-Star team.
Number one, please don't refer to yourself in the third person. Number number two, I mean, I think it's a fair take, right, for him to not be an All-Star. But what I do think is that Adam Silver is going to get bailed out in this situation, and I think he's going to get bailed out because a number of guys are injured, so Bron can be an injury replacement, or he can name Bron, and then one of the guys that we've picked can just be Devin Booker or Nikola Jokic if he's not back yet, injury replacement. So I think Bron's going to be there no matter what. It's just a matter of the optics. Like, how are they going to put him in? Are they just going to name him as a reserve, or are they going to name him as an injury replacement? But I would be shocked, like very shocked, if LeBron is not an All-Star, especially with it being in LA. Like, it just makes sense for him to be there.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could probably make an argument that he could make it over one of the players on our list, but
I think he can make it.
I don't know if that's really necessary.
Yeah, he'll be there regardless. There's no way possible at this point. He's going to be in there. That's like, it's a legacy pick for however long Curry, KD keeps playing. They'll be in there every single year, whether it's a reserve or a starter. They will be a part of that. They've earned that. They've put in the work, a lot of buckets, a lot of great basketball. If you had to predict super early, obviously we don't even know the full rosters and teams, who y'all think is going to win the All-Star game MVP this year?
I don't know, bro. I might not even watch the game, to be honest with you. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it.
That's a hard one to pick.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I think
Shea.
somebody from the world.
Yeah, I would say Shea.
It's going to be somebody from the world team.
I'm gonna say Wemby.
Shea or Luka. Oh yeah, or Wemby. Wimby
Shea,
probably gonna
Luca,
be the only one out
Wimby.
there playing hard.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Wimby be out there playing like it's game 7.
Women probably gonna get a quad double.
Wouldn't be surprised. Hey, do y'all think we should just get rid of the dunk contest at this point? Because we got Jackson Hayes and Carter Bryant in it so far.
Yes.
I mean probably, but you can't not. It's a tough spot because you can't not have the dunk contest on All-Star Weekend. But at the same time, I mean it's lost its allure, right? Like it's lost the. It used to be the main event, but besides the All-Star game, and now I think a lot of that energy shifted toward the 3-point shooting contest. So I don't know, man. I wish more of the elite dunkers in the league, like your VJs or your Ants or your Jaws, or your Zions, would do it, but they don't. So
Yeah.
the only reason I would watch it is because Jackson Hayes is in it, and he's a Laker, so I feel like I gotta support. I support my guy. But I might not even watch it.
No, I don't blame you on that. And I was looking at the some of the research and the breakdown. Carter Bryant, shout out to you for saying yes, but I think they said he has like 6 dunks on the year. How?
Well, he hasn't played that much either, though.
Yeah, he hasn't. But I mean, never mind. I'll shut up because we've had Matt McGlunn, who wasn't playing in the NBA either, and was in the dunk contest.
Yeah,
so
Mac said he wanted to give somebody else a chance.
Mac is tired of doing it and don't get no contract.
He's tired of carrying the event.
Because it's like, bruh, you doing all this and I can't get on the NBA roster. So he probably like, man, forget this. I ain't doing it again. We already mentioned we're gonna talk about the Charlotte Hornets. I'm gonna just throw this out there. Charlotte Hornets on a 4-game winning streak, 7-3 over their last 10. They're 3.5 back from the 10th spot for the play-in. Are the Charlotte Hornets starting to figure it out? What y'all think? And when I say figure it out, I'm talking about to play better basketball, make winning plays. Because obviously they're not gonna be no contender, but it was looking real bleak earlier in the season.
Oh yeah. I think they are. And if you look at a lot of their advanced statistics when LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Khan are on the court together, I mean it's impressive. Like if you take the last 2 weeks as a sample size, relatively small, but sample size nonetheless, which spans their last 10 games. They're 7-3, so they have the 3rd most wins in the league in that time frame. They've got the best net rating at 15.5 in the league. OKC is 2nd, like in the last 2 weeks. They've all 5 of their starters in that time frame are averaging double figures, and Brandon Miller's leading the way with 22, 5, and 4, and I think he's shooting like 42% from 3 on decent volume. So, the key is LaMelo and Brandon staying healthy, and within the last month to few weeks, they've done that. Khan's been amazing. I think might have more of a rookie of the year race than I think a lot of us expected at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, I think in an East that's wide open, and at when you talk about the bottom of the East is even more wide open. Yeah, I think they can make a run, get a play in, win a play in, and then next thing you know, you're the AC playing Detroit. I think that they could definitely do that.
I'd love to see some playoff basketball in Charlotte. If they end up doing that, I might have to take that trip down there to Charlotte to go check them out. Because it's been great to see. They have a nice young core. It's just been health. Like I think they really have one of the best, not the best, but one of the best young cores with LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Khan, even their big rotation with Ryan, and then you actually add in Bridges, long as he's not in the studio. They really got something going over there. Just leave the mic alone. Don't go back in the studio. But I like what I've seen from Charlotte so far. One of the young teams up and coming, and I think maybe they just need to get some veterans in there. There's no vets inside the locker room. Maybe not to play major minutes, but Teach them how to win. Teach them how to be consistent. Teach them how to keep this streak going consistently throughout the season. It's a long season. They're young. Even the head coach is young.
Hey, they got a 123.7 offensive rating in the last 10 games. It's a lot, by the way. It's a lot. It's really good. So,
hey, you mentioned Khan, right? Who's some of the top rookies that y'all have so far this year? As we're heading to the close for this episode, a couple more things that we're going to touch on. Of course, the mailbag segment with those on threads that actually engage with us. But who have been y'all like top 5 rookies so far this season?
go ahead, Jarrett.
Like I said, Khan, VJ, Cooper, of course, you got to throw him in there. I'm not a little bit of a homer because I get to watch him, most of the time. Trey Johnson is up there. And what was that for? And Derek Queen.
Any different names up there for you, my guy Rush?
No, it's the same.
So he's
or Spears or
I put Dylan Harper in that mix on mine, even though he had a little bit of an injury and missed some games, but Dylan Harper is definitely up there. Fears would be up there. He's on the outside looking in. He just gotta stop trying to mix it up and wrinkle jerseys every dang near game. It's like every game Fears is getting into. He has zero fears. Zero fears. But facts. But I do want to give another segment that we have that we'll be installing for our episodes. Spread love. The Spread the Love segment. This is where we give flowers to a player, a team, a coach, which we kind of have done throughout the episode, talking about the Charlotte Hornets and talking about some of the rookies. But I want to throw another rookie name out there. He's an undrafted rookie and has been one of the key pieces to what the Trailblazers are doing over there in Portland in the Western Conference, especially with Dame obviously not being there. They've had some injuries, some people in and out of the lineup, Jeremy Grant, things of that nature. But part of the scoring load that has been very helpful to Denny Avia and the rest of the crew, Klingon and all of them, is Caleb Love. I want to show some love to Caleb Love, no pun intended. I'm going to just read some stats for y'all. 17 out of his last 19 games, he's been in double digits. In 12 games in January, 15.8 points per game, 3.6 assists, 3.5 rebounds, and shooting 37.8 from the 3-point, and he's 8th in scoring amongst all rookies. That ain't too bad for somebody that's not actually on the roster consistently, not actually on a full contract. I think end of February they got to make a decision if they're going to have him be on the roster full time and not two-way. I think he's earned it. And again, I love the underdog story. Undrafted to be in this position. Nobody saw this coming. We all knew when he was in college, North Carolina, I believe, and Arizona, a walk-in bucket. Now he's earned his spot in the league. So shout out to Caleb Love. End off with some of these mailbags. Drew Moon 5. Y'all know Drew. Is it a lot of injuries this year, or do we say this every year as fans? What y'all think?
I think there was a report early in the season that said injuries are actually flat, but I think injuries to like stars or superstars is a bit of an uptick, I think. But as a whole, throughout the league, injuries are relatively flat within the last, I think, year over year, and then consistent with the last couple of years. So definitely with like some of the big name players, but I think as a league, it's not really higher than it's been than the last handful of years.
Yeah, I think we just say this every year.
Yeah, I think it's more so with the stars, but it's with the stars, and it's just been like bad timing when we want to see some of these matchups where you got the marquee matchups and rivalry and things of that nature. Oh, this star is out, this player is out. So I think that's more of it. I don't think it's more injuries, but it's the people that we want to see more haven't been able to play due to injury. And that's even before this even started. Tatum, Halliburton, Lillard out before the season even started. So
Kyrie.
And even just happened recently, which I think is really going to hurt the Rockets so much. So Steven Adams is out for the year. The Rockets before this looked like contenders. I'm kind of out on them. Steven Adams is out. Fred VanVleet isn't there. Amen Thompson is not a point guard for them. And y'all relying on KD to make, y'all want KD to go back to OKC essentially.
Hey, if the Rockets need a center, I got somebody they can have. I'm just saying. I have my people call their people.
Facts. All right, we're gonna end off with this last one. I'm not sure the actual person's name, but the Threads account is sneakers, but it's not spelled out like sneakers. It's SNKRS_and_sidekicks. Peyton Watson has been balling with Jokic out. Who is getting bumped back to the bench when Jokic returns? Now, for those that may not know, when the team is at full strength, the roster starting lineup is Jokic, Gordon, Murray, Brown, and Cam Johnson. Brown is still out. Cam Johnson is still out. Gordon is still out. Peyton Watson has been balling. He is not the starter. When some of these players and the Nuggets get healthy again, who do you think ends up having to be moved to the bench?
Cameron Johnson.
I feel like Cam will start. I think Peyton gets bumped because you would assume Aaron Gordon fills that. So I think it's Jokic, Gordon, Cam, Brown, and then Jamal would probably be their starting five. So you would have Peyton coming off the bench. I'm sorry, future Laker, Peyton Watson coming off the bench.
I'd love to have Peyton Watson on the Lakers squad.
Y'all don't need him. Y'all don't need him.
We don't need him.
Oh.
Yeah, right. We need everybody. Everybody we can get.
Defender. That's what y'all need. I need someone who will play defense.
No, we need somebody who can do both. He can do both.
And is younger.
Shots. Yeah, and he's younger, and he's got the wingspan. He can guard up. He can guard down. That's what we need.
Can I interest guy in Yabusele?
Tired of watching.
Hey, no.
I can't keep watching Gabe Cook.
Right.
I don't think you heard of Rush. This joke just mentioned Yabusele. Heck no.
I'll take Marcus Smart for him.
You over here trying to be Danny Ainge. You ain't about to. He ain't about to catch.
No.
Like Rob isn't the best, but Rob ain't that bad. Rob ain't making that trade.
Hey, shout out to Yabusele though, man. He had a showing last summer and got himself back into the league. So
Yeah, he dunked on LeBron. You know,
Captain L'America. Yeah.
Next 5 years, y'all want VJ Edgecombe or Con Knipple?
Oh,
Con.
Next 5 years, Jarrett McCain or Stephon Castle?
Castle.
Castle.
You came up with this? You came up with this? There's it's like you just ignoring me now. Okay. Yeah. No, Castle's my answer.
All right, we ended off with this. Over the last decade, so from 2016, if y'all could think that far back till 2026, who has been the most impactful NBA player?
I mean, that's hard to say because a lot of players from 2016 ain't in the league no more.
I just it's LeBron. If it's within the LeBron's career, it's just LeBron. Other than maybe his first like 6 years, because Kobe and them were still here. But 2016 to Jazz. Impactful like winning, impactful like everything, or like how are we defining impactful?
It's how you want to view it. I'm thinking everything, and this is literally Vino said it best. I think it's really between LeBron or Steph.
Yeah,
just how you view it. Because when you talk about impact on the court, off the court, winning, The only person that you could say in the last decade has really been in the conversation, and some may say this is blasphemy, but in the conversation has been Steph. Now it's all dependent on how you view it and what you define as impactful, and do
Yeah.
you hold it against Steph that he had KD to help him? Like, how do y'all view it? It's really up to
I mean,
each
depending
person's
on who you
opinion.
ask, Steph was helping KD. That's all I'm saying. Depending on who you ask, I'm just saying. I didn't say it was me. I'm just saying that's what some people say.
I'll say it.
That's all I'm just saying. It's out there. It's a narrative. But
You know what? I'm gonna go with Steph on that question, only because of how the game is played now. And I'm not. And listen, I know people will be like, "Oh my God, he said Steph Curry's better than LeBron." I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, as far as the impact of the game, Steph changed the game. He ruined the game.
Wait, you feel he's ruined the game?
That's his slogan. That's Steph's slogan. Because people always say, "Oh, he ruined the game. Everybody's shooting threes now." So yeah, I think Steph is the.
I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of youth sports. I don't have the appetite for it. But
Yeah,
I do hear that. Yeah, I do hear that there's a lot of people chucking threes.
So I'll just say this. Right, because I've heard that conversation, and I've watched youth sports. I've coached youth sports. I've done trainings.
God bless you, brother.
I've done all that. Hey, I contemplate life after every session, but when you need money, you use what God gave you. So
you gotta do. Yeah, I feel you.
I'm able to. I play ball, so hey, I can still make some money off of. I have experience, but I feel it's on more so the coaching. Yeah, Steph does that, and kids watch it. And I'll say this as much. Somebody in the chat may disagree, but from watching at the grassroots, we don't see this on the women's side. It's the boys. And being that I have trained and coached with some of those camps, they're the ones that see what Steph does. And at 9, 10 years old, little jokers can't even get a layup. They can't get the ball above their head, but they start shooting at the 3-point line in half court. That's them. They the ones that mainly be doing it. And the coaches and the trainers that let that slide, that's on y'all. I'm not going to blame Steph Curry
Who you pointing
for whoever's watching this, coaches, AAUs, whoever's watching this. I feel it's on the coaches because everybody in here, shout out to Chris, I'm pretty sure he could say the same thing. I think when we were growing up, when we got into the court, what did we do? You started off with some layups. You started off, you did your mic and drills. You started off, you shoot a couple shots, make it, take 2 steps back. Couple shots, 2 steps back. They don't do that now anymore. And coaches don't be calling it out. So I feel it's on coaches. I feel it's on trainers. I feel it's on the programs. A lot of these programs is about money. A lot of the programs is about money. They're not actually getting the players better. And I agree with the KDs of the world and others that have mentioned, like, hey, look how great KD was. KD ain't played really AAU till maybe 7th or 8th grade. He wasn't on AAU circuits at 10 and 11 and traveling the country, because that's what we not going to do. I don't care if I'm a billionaire. We not about to be at you 10 years old. You just started dribbling. We talking about, hey, I got a tournament in Arizona this week. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not here. I'm not dropping everything. We going to Arizona for a week. Nah. I think that's a whole nother episode. AAU and the grassroots of basketball in America, at least, is jacked all the way up, mainly on the men's side.
Can I say something to piggyback on that before we finish off? Also, because everybody's saying, "Oh, Steph Curry," not really Steph Curry. Well, yeah, Steph Curry. Everybody wants to emulate Steph Curry, right? With the long 3-pointers and stuff like that. But the thing is, with Steph, they don't realize this man This man plays off the ball, runs constantly. His stamina is on 99. He's able to get to his spots. He knows how to, like Chris said in the comments, using the screens. You gotta know how to navigate to use screens, playing off the ball. Those are some of the fundamental stuff that you need to know to become such a good shooter like Steph Curry. But like we said, it's another episode. So
That's another episode. Ray Pedrosa, he commented on threads. I guess he's in here. Shout out to you, Ray. Pointing at me, I'm watching this. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Ray.
Wait, what?
Ray commented on threads, pointing at me. I'm watching this, so I'm guessing he's in here in the live.
Oh.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah,
But
Ray's one of our Lakers threads contingent. So
yeah, shout out to Lakers Nation. Shout out to Lakers Nation.
I just in case y'all were wondering, I don't have anything to add. I'm not used to Tone doing freaking monologue in the episode, but I mean, he had to get it off his chest, so I'm glad you got it out. You know what I'm saying I don't want you holding that kind of stuff in. It's not good for you. But I don't have anything else to add to the conversation again because I have no interest in youth sports as of right now. My girls, they only care about ballet. They might as well be allergic to basketballs, so I just care about the pro game at this point.
Hey, don't blame you on that. A lot of it is not. It's not fun to watch.
Although I take it back. I did go to a high school basketball game a couple of weeks ago, and it was painful. It was very painful. You know, when they asked Bron last year about Bronny, like before he got into the league, and Bron was like, watching college basketball is rough. He said it's like 10 people in the paint. Like it's youth sports is tough. So I can kind of sympathize and feel where y'all are coming from. Not being totally embedded in that part of the sport, but just having seen it from a distance, yeah, it's definitely not the same as when I was coming up.
Definitely not the same. And I've said this all the time, and I've told my wife, until and if, and I ain't gonna force them, if my boys want to play, outside of that, I don't want to coach a boy a day in my life ever again. My best experiences have been coaching girls, coaching at the high school level, coaching at the middle school level, even going back to elementary. The best experiences that I've ever had was coaching girls. And y'all know the best three is the corner three. We out.
Appreciate y'all in the chat for rocking with us.
Peace.